What's up, guys, and welcome back to Thought Cluster. It's your boy Luke
and Grif,
and we're here to start you off with another banger.
Okay, first off, we got a new mic.
Yeah, because the other one destroyed it. So.
And that's why we didn't have an episode last week. We haven't given up on y'all quite yet. It's just the last microphone.
Difficulties.
Yeah, it broke into. Well, it didn't break. It's fixable. But
we broke it.
Kind of. I mean, it is broken because the port or whatever. We're not going to bore you with the technicalities of it, but it's not working right now. So we got like a cheaper mic to fill in for it. If this mic isn't the greatest for this type of atmosphere, then we'll switch to Luke's mic because he actually just got a Blue Yeti mic, which is what we previously used. Okay, let's just keep on being cool. Let's start the show.
Honestly. All right. Okay. Before you start anything off, I want to tell you what I did to get here.
Okay. I just got your text that you're here, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. All right. I gotta stop saying okay. So on the way here, instead of taking like 30, what is it? That 32 that goes like through downtown. Yeah. And you turn off onto it. Instead of doing that,
big ass road.
I went down 37 and then I turned on that one industrial road. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Like that road that where
it's like all dusty.
There's all they where we've been. Anyway, so I turned on that road and I was driving along and then I realized
you had a small steering wheel.
Yeah, I realized that I kept looking down the road to my left to see where I needed to turn or whatever, and I knew it was past everything. And then there was one road that I passed, and obviously it was a road that I should have turned on. I was like, shit, dude, I just passed my turn or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I kept going or whatever, and I was like, all right, I just need to find like a parking lot to like turn around in. Well, I got to the point where it was only seeing driveways, so I was like, shit, dude, I'm just gonna have to turn around in a driveway. So I pulled up, and this driveway was like so small. All right, yeah, no, I wish.
Wait, is this where it goes underneath that like thing that goes to the top?
No, I stopped before that. Thank goodness. But I pulled in this driveway or whatever. It was super small, so I couldn't just like.
And he has a small car, so it must have been really small.
Yeah, it was really small.
There's a goddamn sidewalk.
And so, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. But I, this is so cool. I like put it in reverse, and what I was gonna do is I was gonna back out like this, like just.
Yeah, typical standard back out formula.
Right, exactly. So I was sitting there and I was waiting for all these cars to pass, and as soon as everybody passed, dude, I slammed on the gas, and I kid you not, my wheels went, and they spun like so hard and so fast that it started like kicking up dirt. Yeah. Okay. And I went, and I just like came out there. I was like, dude, it was so cool.
Like Fast and the Furious, like Jason Bourne type shit.
And I started jumping over stuff. I started like pulling out my Glock. Yeah, it was cool. I thought it was cool at least. As a teenager.
As a young man.
The
only time that I've spun out a couple times just because, okay, well, obviously when you first get your car, you want to go fast. Like, you are going to go fast. Now, me, I'm a pretty, like, aware person where I just don't normally go fast just because I'm not going to kill myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to kill myself. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was at a light, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking hit this. Keep in mind, my favorite series of all time usually is Fast and the Furious.
Sometimes it isn't, but it varies.
But when I saw Fast and the Furious for like the first time, I was like 10, and there were tits, there were fast cars, and there were cool dudes. And Paul Walker, I really liked him. Obviously, he's passed away now, R.I.P. But I was watching that movie, and I was like, fuck yes, such a good movie. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking do it. So I fucking, as soon as the light turns green, I go, boom, and I slam on the thing, and my tires, I didn't think about them spinning out, because I didn't have a car long enough, or nor would I pay attention. But they went... And I shot the fuck off. And everyone, I think the guy behind me honked, and then a person on this side honked, because they're probably like, you fucking douche.
I mean, honestly, I don't see how it hurts other people. People just, like, get pissed off about it if they...
Well, yeah.
But honestly, dude, it's so much fun. It gives you, like, a thrill.
It is cool, yeah. You feel like a badass.
But I thought you were going to say the one time that you're going down, like, Keystone, and you're spit out. You're going, like, 100 miles an hour.
So, did I talk about this on the podcast yet?
No, you told me when you did it.
Okay. You didn't tell this is stupid, and I don't recommend it. Can we put a little tag at the bottom of this video for do not fucking attempt?
Do it.
Don't do it. In my defense, though, it wasn't out of, like, thrill. It was out of, like, fear of death or lack of life. So I'm driving down Keystone, which is a pretty tough road.
Wasn't it like the speed limit's like 70 or something like that?
Is it? It's like 60, 70, I think 65 maybe. Keystone's known for being a pretty tough road. Like when you're on there, you got to be on it. You know what I'm saying? At least around these parts, right? So I get in there, and there's these two cars. I don't know if they were racing or what the fuck they were doing. They definitely knew each other because they were like bobbing in and out of traffic. There was no one around. Maybe there was a couple cars behind me, but there was really no one around. So it was just these two, and then my dumb ass just fucking wheeling behind them. But they were like changing lanes, and they were like crossing each other and shit like that. And I'm like, these dudes are gonna get in a fucking wreck. And I'm freaking out. This is like, I don't even think I could have another person in the car with me yet. Like it was early on in my license career. And I was driving to JL, the career center, which is in, close to the city, and I'm just a small town boy. But so anyway, they're fucking it up or whatever, and I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here. So when they split, I fucking gun it and I shoot between them, and I'm just powering down this thing. And I think they either slowed up or crashed or died. I don't know what the fuck happened. But I look down at my speedometer once I go around this turn or whatever to get away from them, and I'm going like 102. Which, in my car, which is like maybe, you could probably sell my car for $50 now, and that's pushing it. My car was like, because like when I even go 60 and I try to slow down, my car shakes. I mean,
No, yeah, when slowing down is a different story, but like going at a continual speed and shaking, that's...
Yeah. It wasn't shaking hard. It wasn't like anything bad, but it was a little bit of shake to it.
Yeah, and see, that's different for me because he is a 6-cylinder, I have a 4-cylinder, so he's a little bit more power than I do.
My car's heavy as fuck.
His car is a little more stable than mine. I have like a really light, like...
If the wind blows in the wrong direction...
Yeah, I take off. I'm going to space. But yeah, like if I'm going like 65, 70, dude, like in the morning on 37 when I'm going to school, I'm going... Like I'm shaking, dude. I am all over the place. I don't know why.
You're the guy with duct tape all over his fucking car trying to keep it together. You're like driving down the road and you start to roll down your window because you can anticipate what's going to happen. Your side mirror falls off, but you catch it, hook it back on real quick, roll your window back up. Actually, that's a pretty good segue because my first topic, let me just get a quick refresher. So we talk about Rhett and Link. We talk about Rhett and Link a lot because they're pretty big inspirations for us. Yeah, are you flexing?
No, my forearm hurts because I nailed
jerking off.
No.
What else could you be doing? Okay,
nailed.
We watch Rhett and Link a lot, and I'm a big fan of their podcast, Ear Biscuits. It's not quite as good as ours.
I mean, it's kind of borderline, like, okay.
They're trying. I think they've only charted, like,
maybe like
30 times, probably.
Yeah, it's not that.
They're not as good as us, by far, obviously. I mean, look at the setup. The fucking thing falls down. The sword falls off, cuts your head off.
Somehow the Coke spills again.
Yeah. By the way, I'm just going to keep going. Luke keeps spilling his Coke, and he did it last episode, but obviously it didn't. The last episode's fucked, so. Anyway, but we watched them a lot, and I was watching their podcast, and Rhett was talking about something that was really interesting, because Rhett's kind of known for being more of like a manlier dude. At least he tries to be, you know what I'm saying? He's pretty typical in that sense. Yeah, we talked about this also. Very masculine, And it was interesting because, I mean, obviously I look up to him a lot as like a creator and stuff like that, but I guess somewhat as a man, right? He's a male figure, I kind of want to be something of that sort, right? And he was talking about how he went to the mountains with his family, and at a certain point, you have to put chains on your cars, on your car tires.
Right.
Because there's a bunch of snow and shit like that. And it was interesting hearing it from, I don't know, a man, you know what I'm saying? Saying that he was, like, nervous about doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, I didn't want to be embarrassed in front of my family. He's like, in front of my wife, in front of my kids or whatever. He's like, if I don't know how to put the chains on, or if I put them on wrong, or if we get stuck because I don't put the chains on. And he was talking about how he was just kind of nervous getting up to that point. He's like, so I practice and stuff like that. And that was interesting to me because I never thought of someone like a very masculine person, like such as himself. I mean, he's a little bit, they're like stylish stuff like that. Right. But typically he's more, I'd say he's more masculine than I'm me. I mean, I'm not very masculine. I fucking sit in my room and click.
Well, you're masculine. You're more masculine than I.
I got facial hair.
Yeah, see, that's what sets us apart.
But I'm saying, like, he's interested in sports. Stuff
well,
like that.
I mean, okay, and also, I see Griffin as Rhett, and I see me as Link.
Yeah, so we see each other as them. That's why we sit this way. That's how we've always thought. Anyway, but that got me thinking, because I had a similar experience this week, because I had a fucking day this week, okay? I woke up, and I started editing as I normally do, or working on art, or whatever okay? And my sister comes in, and she's like, hey, I'm going to leave for work. And I'm like, okay. I don't give a shit. No. She goes out to her car, and then she comes back in, and she's like almost in tears. Not really, but she's like, you can tell she's stressed. And she's like, I have a flat tire. And I'm like, how flat is it? And she's like, it's pretty fucking flat. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, it can't be that flat. I'm like, I'll just fill it up. I know how to air up a tire. That's easy, whatever. So I go out. I go out to our car and I look at it and dude, it's flat as fuck. Like the rim is sitting on the ground. It's so fucking flat. You know how a bike tire, when bike tire gets a little flat, you can like push it all the way in? Right. You could push this all the way in. Jeez. Easy. So it was really fucking flat and I'm like, yeah, you're not going to be able to air that up. I'm like, that's going to just drain in a matter of an hour. You're just going to be gone, especially when you're driving on it. And I'm like, well, I get back in the house and she's calling her boss or whatever to like call in. Because she's not going to go to work, obviously. She can't. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, she has a spare tire. And I'm like, yeah, let's just do that, whatever the fuck. So, sorry, I had to burp. I go in and I'm talking to her and I'm like, we could just replace your tire. We could just put the dummy on there and you could just take that. I think you can drive like, how many miles on those things?
I don't know. It's something like 1,000 or more.
I mean, it would last her getting to work and back. Right. So I'm like, oh, we could do that as like a little alternative or whatever. And then she was like kind of off about that because she's like, well, I don't think you could do it or like something like that. And she's like, I don't want you to like fuck it up or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But then she calls my mom and her mom gets into it and she's like, my mom tells me and she's like, replace her tire. She's like, put that one on there. And then she's like, and then when I get home, you're going to give me her flat tire. And we're going to take it in the shop and they're going to fix it. And she's like, but you need to change the tire just to get it off there so that we can obviously take it in. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fuck, I have to do this. And the only time that I've been around people like working on cars, obviously because of you and stuff like that. I'm not the most like car savvy dude. I'm just not. Okay, I don't normally do that kind of stuff. However, I do like it. I like building stuff and I like working my hands. No problem with it. It's just not something that I normally do.
I'm excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah. So I was nervous, but obviously it was a stressful situation. My mom was upset. Are you gonna sneeze?
I thought I was. Sorry.
My mom was mad and my sister was a little bit stressed out. And I'm like, okay. And keep in mind, this is actually the main part of the story. My dad was on a business trip.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was in...
He was in Florida.
Yeah.
Arizona, yep.
Sorry, I thought he was in Arizona.
He was in Florida doing an expo. So, in the sense, I'm the man of the house at this point, right? Mm-hmm. So, my mom was mad, and my sister was stressed out, and I had to kind of step up and figure this shit out. Because my mom's not going to, that little ass woman, she's not going to take a tire off. She doesn't even know how, probably. Sorry, my dog paused at the door. We'll put her down, don't worry about it. So, I get out there, whatever, and I'm looking at the tire, and I'm like, yeah, I got this. So, I pull everything out, I start jacking up the car, and then I'm like, fuck. I jack it back down because I forgot that you got to loosen the bolts or whatever. Lug nuts, fuck you, don't. My sister was inside through all of this. But I changed it. I changed it successfully, like no strings attached. It was perfectly fine. And I'm like, I don't know, it was weird for me because I get back in and I sit down at my desk, or I clean up my hands, go all greased up or whatever. And I sit down at my desk and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it was such an insignificant thing, really, because like, oh, you changed the tire, congratulations, everyone can do that.
Fuck you.
She's pulling it.
Go away!
I mean, I guess not everyone can do it, but it felt cool being able to do that. And it wasn't like I'm fucking proud of myself. It was just more of like, I'm glad that I could do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Instead of like having to know how to do it, you were glad that you could do it.
Yeah, because if I didn't do it, one, my mom would have had to probably figure it out, right? Or she would have been hovering over me, and then there would be judgment. And I know it sounds like, oh, you can't, a little bit of judgment, who cares, right? What are they going to say? But like for me, it was like a masculine side of like, I don't want my mom and my sister being all like, oh, you don't know how to change a tire?
Right.
And my dad getting home and have to hear about that. Not that like we live in that kind of house, but still. So I was happy that I was able to like step up and do that.
And see, like the thing for me is, and this kind of like, I mean, no, this does have to do with what you were talking about, but like being masculine, every man strives to be masculine. I mean, as possible, because that's how you're a man. You're supposed to be masculine. Yeah. Well, but
except for some guys are.
Right. Exactly. Some opinions out there, but I mean,
to each their own.
My dad, like Griffin said, I do like to work on cars and stuff like that. And my dad told me that we're gonna change the brakes on this one car that we have or whatever. And so he's like, all right, I want you to like just do it. I was like, okay. Like, there was no pressure like you. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's pressure on your situation. Yeah. But for me, there was no pressure. It was just like a learning experience, But he said to do it on my own.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to be there, like, telling me what to do. Because I'd already known how to do it. I've done it once. And so he was like, all right, so change the brakes on this car or whatever. So obviously I did some things wrong, but like I got both of the, wheels off and stuff like that. And I got everything set up and everything fine. I replaced the brakes and made sure everything was compressed back. And, it was just super easy and like simple for me because I've done it before.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to
Wait, you were just changing brakes?
Right.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot more difficult than just changing a tire.
Right. It's a process. It's a one step further.
Yeah.
Than changing
It's definitely a process. Time consuming.
Right. But like I just did it, It wasn't like I kind of thought about it, but like I also didn't think about like my dad standing behind me, like judging me or whatever, like telling me like what to do or whatever. I just did it, and I did it perfect. Like my dad was like, I couldn't have done it better myself. And the one thing I do struggle with, and hey, calm down in the comments already. I know you're out there, you too.
Can I take a second? Becca, shut the fuck up.
Go away.
She's like pawing at the door. I'm sorry. Animal lovers out there, she's fine. Okay. The house is air conditioned.
But don't judge her. This is the only problem that I had trouble with. All right.
You penis. You tiny
penis. It was all over the place. No, no. It was hard to Obviously, I could take the wheel off, change the brakes. I put the wheel back on. That was a trouble. That was
really?
Hard. Yeah, because the wheel's like what, like 50 pounds? No, definitely not.
It could be more. How big are your tires? Well, your tires are pretty small though.
But it wasn't for my car. It was for a van. Like a minivan.
Can't be that big.
I mean, it was like, I don't know, 40, 45 pounds, 30, 35, something like that. It was a pretty big tire, all right?
Uh-huh.
And lifting it up like this and then putting it up on something, especially if you have to like put it on pegs, that was a little difficult for me. That was the only thing I couldn't do by myself. I had to get my dad to help me with that. Mm-hmm. But it was cool because I did it I had to have help with the first one. And obviously I did both sides. And the second one I did on my own. Which was like an accomplishment for me because, now that I can do it on my own, like if I needed to change my brakes like right now, I can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I felt. I'm like, if I ever get fucked somewhere, like I can do it.
Right.
Or like if someone needs someone to step up, like I can do this now.
Right.
And it felt good.
And I think that's another part of growing up and being like a man is knowing how to do things that are like simple like that. You know what I mean? And like how we did like literally in the last video, like to bake a cake. Like that's kind of a thing you need to know how to do.
This is a bit of like it's not really a rant, it's just more of like, it's more from the heart, I guess. I don't know who these guys are, but it was part of an ad and they were talking about how if a girl's going out with a man and the man doesn't stand up when his mom or sister walks in the room, basically you look at a man and how he treats, or boy I guess, how he treats his mother and his sister, and then if he doesn't treat them well, he's not going to treat you well. And that made sense to me. And they were talking about how they were confused about how people, I guess women specifically, and some men, we're talking about how, like, it's disrespectful to hold a door for a woman. And one of the men was like, that's not how it works. He's like, men aren't supposed to necessarily be dominant over women. It's just more like men are here to serve a woman. We're here to make them lack discomfort, if you will.
Like, literally, I couldn't agree more.
And that made so much sense to me.
And, like, for me, like, yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Like, girls, like, if you're in a relationship with a girl, it shouldn't always be one-sided.
No.
Maybe you like to call the shots sometimes, but if the girl like is that kind of person that needs to call the shots, you let them call the shots.
Yeah, you let them. Yeah,
it's not you being weak, and
but
it's
if
not
the sink breaks
like,
down, you do it because you don't want to inconvenience her. That's not you saying that she can do it. It's just that she shouldn't do it because she's a woman.
And that's why, like in the 1950s, this is what I'm learning about right now in history, so I can kind of relate.
But in the 1950s,
in the 1950s, women's roles were to stay at home, you know, and not to go out and get a job or anything like that, because you know why? That was the man's job to do that.
I'm sure there was a bit of sexism just in the homes, obviously.
But I mean, obviously...
In general, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like, it was to relieve the burden of, you know, having to force a woman to go out and get a job. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We let them stay at home. Obviously, some of them didn't like it, obviously, because they created, like, a...
Dumbass.
Go away! Obviously, they you know, started a feminist movement and all that kind of thing, and all that kind of stuff. But some women liked it, you know? They liked staying home. They didn't want to go and do a job or whatever. And I'm not saying that that's not the stereotype nowadays. Obviously not, because there's women doing everything with flying colors, you know, and career-wise now. But I mean, like, that it wasn't to be sexist in the first place. It was to relieve the woman of having to do a job, you know? So it was the man's responsibility to go and do something like that, not for a woman to do that. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me put it to you this way. So there's probably, let's use a doctor. A female doctor, which is that just a doctress? But a female doctor, and if you don't know anything about doctors, one, that's a hard fucking job. Very high stress.
You have to be very smart as well.
And you're on your feet all day. You don't think that, obviously I'd say that's a pretty take charge woman, right? Pretty strong woman to be able to do that kind of stuff. You don't think that when she gets home and her husband opens the door for her, cooks her a nice meal, you don't think that she appreciates that? It's not saying that she can't cook dinner. I know this is a pretty small example, but it's not saying that she can't cook dinner. It's just saying, like, why should you?
Right, exactly. You know and the roles would be reversed for the opposite, you know what I mean? It's basically just simple, like, relationship issues, you know what I mean? Like, if one person is putting in a bunch of work into the relationship, the other person should be holding that up and rewarding the other person for it, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I feel like if I take a girl out on a date or something like that, I should be the one that pays for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, if the girl insists and like keeps like pushing and begging or whatever,
and she might want to just pay for her side.
Yeah, and she wants to pay for herself. I'm totally cool with that. But generally speaking, at the beginning of every single date, I always bring money for me and the other person. Exactly. Yeah. Because you don't ask for somebody to go out on a date like, hey, you want to go eat? Oh, sorry, you got to pay for yourself now. You know what I mean? And especially as a man, you know, you take that responsibility upon yourself to be like, I'm here to treat the woman, not the woman treat me. You know what I mean? Because obviously you're taking the one out on a date.
I just thought that was an interesting perspective because people are always like, no. Like, that's not what it is. But, like, just the idea of, like, it's not that men are dominant necessarily. I mean, I guess men are technically more dominant in biology and just, like, all that kind of stuff. But in general, men are here to serve a woman. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not to the point where, like, yeah, we made joke about, like, women and stuff like that and how they belong in the kitchen, but that's just a joke, you know? Like, that's obviously not how we think.
I mean, they do, but no.
But, I mean, like, for me, I feel like a woman should be, like, praised and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, and not to the point where it, like, destroys a relationship and it's being, like, a one-sided kind of thing, but, like, if you're putting in the work, you know, and the woman isn't really doing, like, anything, like, you should be able to, like...
My dad mows the grass, right? My dad mows the grass. He always mows the grass. He weed whacks. He does all that kind of stuff. My mom likes to garden, but my dad mows the grass. And my mom obviously doesn't mow the grass. She will if she needs to, because she's a fairly strong woman. You know, she'll get it done if she needs to. She grew up on a farm and like all that kind of stuff. So she's a hardworking woman. She's a very strong woman. But my dad mows the grass not because she can't, but because she just shouldn't. Why should she? Why should he inconvenience her with that when she could just stay inside, you know, or sip some... She usually watches him, which I don't know if that's kind of like a hierarchy thing. Yeah, peasant. But no, she just sips some fucking sweet tea on the back porch while he mows the lawn. You know what I'm saying? He's out there sweating his ass off so that she doesn't have to.
Right, exactly. And that's the entire, like, that's how
it should be.
Right, that's how it should be.
And there's things that...
That's borderline how it should be.
Yeah, and if a woman wants to mow the grass, she can mow the grass.
Right, like if there's
I know it's more than just mowing the grass.
And like, I completely don't have a problem with it, you know, like a tag team sort of situation here, you know, like the woman like, yeah, you go take a break, you know, get a drink of water, I'll finish it off or something like that, you know, yeah. But like, you know, I mean, that's, in my opinion, that's how it should be. You know?
And there's women who, there's certain things that men do because just women they shouldn't have to have the inconvenience of doing it.
Right, like having a job. Well, in the wait a minute. Like in the 1950s. That was what I meant.
But then again, there are some men who go to work and their wife stays home and takes care of the kids.
Right, exactly. And nowadays, the roles are reversed.
But they get shit for that. Some women get shit for that because, like, you stay home while your husband goes to work. Okay, raising a kid, not easy.
Yeah, I know.
People will argue that it's the most hardest job in the world. I disagree with that because I think being a sniper is a little bit harder than being a mom. But being a mom, raising a fucking kid to not be a psychopath, that's fucking hard.
Yeah. And, like, here's the thing. And we did presentations, right, over the 1950s and the history.
Goddamn PowerPoint.
Sorry, we got to go all the way back to the 1950s. But anyway, so we did these presentations or whatever.
It was just like a fucking history book. Yeah. But only on the 50s.
Anyways, these two girls did the presentation on roles of women in the 1950s, right? Mm-hmm. And this one girl, I'm not gonna use derogatory terms, but she wasn't...
Was she in your class?
Yeah. She wasn't very... How do I put it?
Intelligent?
Ladylike.
Okay.
You know, she was a woman,
like a tomboy?
obviously, but sort of like that.
Is that an offensive term now?
No.
Tomboy?
No, tomboy is not an offensive term. Okay. I would say the D word is an offensive term. You know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
The Okay. All right, but anyways, sorry. So
sorry, friends.
She's not very ladylike, but she also is a woman, and there's no denying that. You know fact.
What? We can say dyke. We can
all
say
right, okay,
context matters. We're saying dyke.
All right, so she was a little bit of a dyke.
God damn it!
And she took on the responsibility to present this side of the presentation of the roles of women, and she was saying she was acting like the women had it the worst in 1950s. They were saying, oh, the women have to stay home and clean the house every day and raise the kids all the time, every single day, all day long. And they had to do all this and do all that while men had to go out and, drink beer at the pubs and all that kind of stuff and just hang out with their friends and all that kind of stuff. Like, that is so one-sided,
You know what's funny?
Men work, okay, for one. Men were generally the breadwinners back in the 1950s. And
define breadwinner.
Like, as in getting the money. Like, they were the only source of income for their family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for them, I knew what it meant.
But, so, and then also, men were like, that was like the stereotype that back then, was men had to serve the women, And then she just completely took the spin off of it and put, like, but 2019
there were still less rights afforded to women than there were to men.
No doubt. Like, that was before they could even vote.
Where now men and women are equal. Despite what you may think, men and women are equal now.
No doubt.
But I think a good, respectful man puts a woman above himself.
Exactly.
As you should. I think men struggle with that sometimes because there's still selfishness.
So
and stuff like
many men, and like the thing is,
many men.
The
spanner. He's like a racehorse.
I like how we said that at the exact same time. Anyways. God. Okay, anyway.
Cut it. You just gotta cut it. Jesus!
The video's the best thing ever. Sorry. Okay, so, honestly, in my case, every girl that I've met, or have talked to, have always had problems with men treating them badly.
Yeah.
And, as
maybe you need to move to a new neighborhood.
Just stroll down a couple blocks that way. No, but in my opinion, like, nowadays, girls want to go after guys that are kind of jerks, assholes, that kind of don't treat them right. Which I get that girls want to do that now. Like, I kind of didn't get it when I was like first started talking to girls. I was like, what the hell? What?
Why the fuck didn't you like my Pokemon collection?
But like for me, like now I kind of get it that they like guys like that. But like after high school, dude, girls are looking for the guys that are like respectful and like need to get shit done.
I don't think now. Obviously, I'm 18, so I don't know everything, and I just got out of high school. But I'd say I'm slightly above average in like knowing what the fuck's going on. I'm pretty well aware of like what's going on. I can take myself out of equations and like look at them as a god. No, but like look at them from an
I think we're both really good at doing
that. Yeah, we're pretty aware of what's going on. We're not like oblivious.
I think me and you can put ourselves in other people's shoes very easily.
Yeah,
and like also look at things from a different point of view.
Yeah. I think we've always been pretty good about that. Because we're a little bit different, and I'm not saying like I'm different, but we're a little bit different in the fact that I think we're a little bit more mature in the mind. Yeah. Obviously, we're fucking retarded, but
yeah, we can act pretty stupid,
But my whole thing is that I know some people will disagree, but I don't think you should really even. I mean, you definitely shouldn't date in middle school. I just don't think you should because you're not dating really. What are you gonna do?
It's not like it's not like a real.
You gonna hold hands? But like I don't know, high school dating, it's like. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You may think it does, but it just doesn't. Now, some people go on to marry their high school sweethearts.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like
but in general, it doesn't fucking matter. Any relationship that I've ever had throughout high school, and I've been with many women or whatever. Not like a lot, but at least upper 40s. No, I'm kidding. But any relationship, like it's ended now, and obviously it didn't fucking matter. Obviously, you get a little bit of experience on certain areas here and there, but, like, it just doesn't matter. By the way, I keep drifting away.
Yeah, so you're going to be talking to the wall here in a minute. Yeah, so, like, the other day.
No. But, like, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you mean. And the thing is, like, I see relationships now as, like, experience.
Yeah.
How I always imagine me, like, actually finding, like, somebody that I like, genuinely want to stay with is, like, like, when I'm actually, like, out of high school and, like, college.
Yeah. Well, the only
maybe not out of college, but maybe like during college. You know what I mean?
The only person you're staying with is me. We got I meant we got a show.
But no. Anyways, I always imagine like being in like a bar or something like that, like really late at night, and then like just like meeting somebody like that way. Which is like super cliche. Tunnel vision, and like super cliche.
She's gonna walk in wearing a white dress.
But it's like it's.
I'm Priscilla.
Talk to me. But that's how I always thought of it, and like obviously I haven't had a chance to go to the bathroom yet, obviously. So,
Do you have to pee?
No, it's a metaphor for mingling.
Oh.
With a close person.
Okay, we could do that now. But
of the opposite gender.
I don't know. I think we should.
But like I don't know. I didn't see his experience because like what I was telling you earlier, I had no idea what to do.
You squeaked.
But you know what I mean? Like, I had no idea what to do. I was just like laughing my ass off.
He got into a intimate situation.
No.
Can I just?
No.
It's for context.
No.
I'll just.
No.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Can I just? I'm not gonna say what.
What are you going to say? Tell me here.
No, I'm just gonna say it. We can cut it out. Oh my god, you fucking pussy.
Yeah, but you're gonna keep it in. That's the reason.
Something happened with a girl and you didn't know how to react. That's it.
I gotta go.
It's fine. Okay, glad we got that. Yeah, but I think that's...
Yeah, no, I definitely... all the points that you said right there, I agree.
Yeah, so 100%. Basically, to conclude that, I think men and women are definitely equal. I think that's definitely a thing, but I think
men should treat their women...
strive to do better
like a queen.
I mean, but they're still equal. It's just, you put her above yourself.
Right.
A man puts a woman above himself. There's not a societal putting women above or men above one another. Damn, that was good.
It's a relationship.
I'm gonna get that tattooed. Okay, this is kind of... I'm gonna fall out of this chair. My chair's so fucked. Okay, this is a bit... Actually, I'm just gonna get into a quick little... This is just a quick little funny thing. So, I made a dildo video.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so basically where I went on Amazon to read people's reviews that they left on dildos and vibrators that they bought. I thought it was funny, and the only thing funnier than people leaving a review on a dildo or vibrator that they bought is a 18-year-old kid reacting to it and laughing his ass off. I just thought that was the funniest thing, funny concept for a video. Some people agreed and some people did not. The best part is I checked the analytics for that video. I haven't told you this yet.
It was like the most viewed, right?
Not my most viewed video.
Well, like one of the most viewed.
I mean, it went up there. It didn't pass
because
a lot
you think it's like kids.
Well, yeah, a lot of the searches were like looking for like porn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is funny because anyway. But I checked the analytics for it. I checked the analytics for it because you can see everything that happened during that video's lifespan. And 2 people unsubscribed during that video because I lost subscribers, but I didn't know it was really okay. I just thought that was funny. Which for me, obviously, I can drop my phone. For me, obviously, it was like fuck. I just lost 2 subscribers. You lose ground or whatever. But one of my mentors, I guess, if you could say that, Mork Productions. Anyway, and he taught me because I was telling him.
Did he unsubscribe?
No, I don't think he ever subscribed. Actually, no, I think he does subscribe, and he does watch my videos occasionally. At least he used to. But he talked to me because about a year ago when he was mentoring me, I told him like I lost like 5 subscribers in one night, and I'm like, and it really sucked or whatever. And I'm like, how do you deal with that? Because he's gotten some pretty good success on YouTube. He's got like almost 1,000 followers, which is nothing crazy, but still more ground than me. And he was saying like it doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter because that's not your audience. If they unsubscribe, it's not your audience.
Right.
And I'm like, that's so true. That makes so much sense to me.
Right. You're like trying to appeal to your audience specifically.
Which for me, like it sucked that I lost 2 subscribers, but at the same time, if you're that fucked up about a dildo video, I mean, if you don't see the comedy in that, I don't want you to watch my videos.
Podcast.
We're filming. Why is everyone like fucking life in this episode? Actually, you know what's funny? The only one not fucking life is you. You haven't spilled anything. You haven't hit the mic. What a guy.
I'm doing pretty good.
You hit the camera in one episode too. With your foot. But yeah, I thought that was...
You've moved it out of my reach, which is...
I thought that was interesting. So anyone who's like trying to strive like us to be YouTubers, just know that when you lose subscribers, like... It's not your audience. It shouldn't affect you. I mean, you're still going to feel a little bad, especially when you get like a hate comment.
Well, but yeah, of course, but like it's just, it's not somebody that like is loyal.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Fuck them, dude.
Maybe we'll win them back. Should I jump to the next topic?
Yeah, jump to it.
I got a lot built up. Okay, this is This one. I got to start this off with a question. The big question mark. Do you squeegee?
Do I squeegee?
Yes. Do you?
Hell
squeegee?
yeah, I squeegee.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, I'll give context. So I was watching a podcast and they were talking about
car.
No, this is body stuff. I'm drifting away.
Squeegee yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So I was watching a podcast and they were talking about their process of like getting out of the shower and like getting ready in the morning. So what they do is apparently this is a thing, which I didn't know this is a thing. But apparently what they'll do is they squeegee themselves. Which, I mean, basically you're just like flicking the water off. I don't know necessarily if that's what it is. I'm pretty sure. Because that's the way they talked about it. Basically you squeegee yourself, which you just kind of brush the water off yourself first, dust it out of your hair a little bit, and then you get the towel. That way your towel's not wet. Which... I
mean, I've done that before.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you kind of brush it off a little bit.
Like, what I do when I'm taking a shower is I get in the shower, I like, clean off, and then I have the towel overhanging, like, the bar or whatever that keeps the curtain up. And then what I'll do is when I get in there, and when I'm done, I'll just, like, sit there for a second and just, like, let everything run off or whatever, and then I'll just, like... And then just start, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just let, like, everything, like, settle, and then I'll do it.
I didn't know that it was, like, an actual, like, thing to, like, you actively think about, okay, I'm going to squeegee first, then I towel off, and then I use a hairdryer. That's what these people do, which is interesting to me.
I've done that before. I have, like, tried to, like, some shit like this, But, like, I've never, like, actually, like, processed it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
never,
I didn't know that, but like they were actively, like they were talking about it like it was a morning routine. And also, have you ever used
a hairdryer?
No. Do you see my hair? I don't.
Yeah.
Besides from like.
Well, I mean, okay, your hair is. It's nice.
No, it's on the crazy side. I never do my hair. The only thing I do is I dry it off with the towel and then I give it maybe a couple of these. But if I fuck with it too much, then it looks weird. So I just do these and then I don't even look at myself.
But see, for me, like, I have a double crown right here. Mm-hmm. So every single time I, like, do shit to it, I have to, like, make sure every hair that, like, okay, so when I get out of the shower, I just take my towel and I just go, just go ham on my head. So, it, like, when I get out of the shower, obviously my hair is, like, sticking up every which way. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I, like, look in the mirror when it's still, like, a little bit wet, like, just, like, moist or whatever. So I'll just, like, put it down. Like, I'll have all these hairs sticking up this way, and I'll grab each individual hair and I'll see where it goes. So like it's a hit or miss kind of thing. It'll either go forward, all the way back, or to the right. And it's the opposite for the side. It'll either go forward, all the way back, or to the left. None in between. None of them go this way. None of them like go this way or anything.
People who are listening have no fucking clue.
And I have a split, like, right here, so I have to make sure that everything is, like...
part. No one calls it a split.
I can do the split.
My hair is...
Just kidding.
It's a curse and a blessing. Because, one, it always looks just crazy, but at the same time, I don't have to do anything. Because gel doesn't work. I think I talked about this maybe before, probably just with you. But it doesn't... I can't use gel, because it just poofs back up. I've tried strong-ass gel, it doesn't work. So I just let it fly.
I mean, like, for me, gel works, but, like... I like my hair natural. I don't want to put, like, product in it every single morning. Like, that's just a hassle for me.
Yeah, it feels gross. Like, when it gets all hard, it's just nasty.
So, I like my hair. I like how it is. Yeah, I like your hair, and I like how it is.
You're so accepting.
There's only a few, like, people that I like their
hair. Back to the squeegee. I didn't know
that was I don't know. People actually squeegee, dude.
But aside from, like, Manscaped type stuff, I don't have, like, a morning routine where I get ready in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, you brush your teeth, put your contacts in, and maybe, with your hair a little bit. I mean, I really don't have to do anything with my hair. It just kind of is there.
You know what's weird?
That rhymed. What?
Like, ever since, like, the beginning of this semester, I'm always waking up with, like, perfect hair. Always.
It's because you're perfect.
No, but, like, I've always slept in, like, a certain position that, like, I sleep like a rock when I do, but, like, any alarm can wake me up, like, any noise. So, like, I'll sleep in one position or whatever, and then as soon as, like, I'll just wake up in that position and just, like, walk out, And, like, when I walk out in the mirror, I'm like, that's pretty good, That's pretty good, And normally I used to wake up with, like, bedhead where it'd be like, it'd be like a volcano, everything's going everywhere. No, good.
I've never had a problem with, like, waking up my hair being bad.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Like, ever?
No, never.
Wow.
Now, if you look at some of my videos, there's parts where like it looks like I have like a bald spot on the side of my head, and I was always self-conscious about that, because I'm like, I have like fucking patches or something. But it's not that. It's just my hair's so curly that it'll curl away from a certain area, so I gotta like fix it a little bit. But I've never once woken up with like horrible hair. I've never had a bad hair day. Fuck it. The only bad hair day that I ever had is I was gonna talk to this girl, and it was the last day of school, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be different, and I'm like drifting away. My chair is like on a slight. It's fucked, so it doesn't matter. But I was gonna talk to this girl, and I'm like, I want to be a little bit edgy. You know what I'm saying? So I put my hair down, like I like put it down like this or whatever. Because my friend, he's like that looks good. My friend Caleb Cooper. He's actually, I don't actually know if you knew him.
Yeah, I knew Caleb.
Well, he moved to Florida recently, which really sucks because I love that guy. He was a great guy. But he was like, yeah, dude, it looks good, really good with that. And he's like the most supportive, positive dude ever. So I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. So I like put it all down there after I got out of the shower and stuff like that. And I looked different because it was like all wet or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I look good. You know, I look dangerous or whatever. So I had like my jacket on or whatever. And I was going to school, you know, probably had a flip phone. But I get on the bus whenever I'm going, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to talk to her. And this was like a girl that I really, really liked, but I was so fucking shy. I was so shy.
I've yet to do that.
What?
Talk to a girl. No, you know.
I mean, I had talked
you know
to
what I'm talking about.
Shut up. I had talked to her before, but like today I was like, I'm gonna make a move because this was like a day that we were going on like a walk or something like that, or maybe it was the day before. or after.
This is in middle school.
Yeah, we did like a walk thing to the.
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm last day of 8th grade. I remember that. It's the best year of my life. Back in the summer of 1960.
But I'm like, I'm gonna talk to her. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna kiss her too. I'm like, I'm gonna go all the way.
You're gonna give her the smooch?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
But I had my hair down or whatever, and we were in science, and I looked at my phone, okay, and I had like an old Nokia phone or whatever, so obviously you can see a reflection or whatever, and I pulled up my phone, and obviously when you have an iPhone, when you hold it up or whatever, it turns on automatically. That's not how those phones work, you know, back in the 20s. So I opened it up or whatever, and the screen didn't turn on, but I saw myself in the reflection. I looked so fucking crazy. Because my hair was down or whatever, but it curls up, so it was like down here, and it curled up or whatever. I looked fucking stupid, and I looked insane. Dude, all confidence was lost at that point. Any, like, amping up that I had done on the bus or in the mirror was fucking gone.
You know what I would have done if I were in your shoes?
I felt like total shit. Wet my hair?
I would have, like, asked to go to the bathroom, just completely, like, stuck my head in the sink, and just drenched myself, and then, like, took a bunch of paper towels, and then just, like, destroyed it.
Well, it's science, so there were sinks there, so I was, like, getting a little bit of water, and I was, like, doing this or whatever, but my hair wasn't like how it is now. My hair stays up now. You can't put it down. You can try. It won't go down. Even when I get out of the shower, it like stays here and then it goes. But I was trying so hard to get it up there. I was trying so hard to get it up, but it was so thin, right? Drifting away. That it wouldn't go up, and like I was like wetting my hair, like panicking or whatever. And she used to sit next to me, but I don't think that she sat next to me that day. I think she sat somewhere else with her friends or whatever. But I never ended up talking to her. Damn. I mean, we did actually go on the walk or whatever, and like we held hands for a little bit. It was like a little cute thing. But I was like so nervous and I was sweaty, and it was just such an awkward experience. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad.
I've yet to talk to a girl. And like a girl that like in that situation.
Here's the worst part. Okay? We didn't actually initiate holding hands. Her friend brought us together or whatever. And
really?
Yeah, because her friend was like a super outrovert. Is that the word? Outrovert.
No.
Extrovert. That's it. Retarded. But so that happened, and I'm like, man, that fucking sucked. And then, you know, whatever, we were talking about that. And then I get home, and I'm hanging out with Adrian, because, you know, now it's summer or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
And apparently, Adrian had this idea, okay? And Adrian's pretty slick with the ladies, right? He's so fucking slick.
He's slick.
He's so fucking slick. And he's like, dude, you should have kissed her. And I'm like, no, that wasn't it. That's not the problem. And he's like, no. He's like, trust me, it was. Now, Adrian, as much as he knows, he doesn't know everything, okay? And I gave him the mistake of handing him my phone, and he's like, just let me talk to her. He's like, trust me, I'll fix this. And he, like, wrote her this message of, like, hey, I'm sorry I should have, like, kissed you or whatever. Like, I just had, like, a lot going on. And it was, like, so fucking bad. And I opened it or whatever, and I guess in that moment, like, I was like, yeah, you know, because we were, like, amping each other up, and I'm like, yeah, I fucking fixed this or whatever. And the conversation, I don't obviously remember it, you know, but that conversation that we had the night, you know, after Adrian went home or whatever, through text, it was so fucking awkward. Because, obviously, Adrian came on, like, way more confident than I ever would, because, obviously, I was really nervous. I mean, I'm still a pretty shy person now. Introverted. But it was so fucking awkward trying to talk to her and, like, dig myself out of this hole. And I think I even made the mistake of, like, going back on it, like, oh, that was my friend, you know, he took my phone. Which is, like, the typical way of, like, if you ask a girl out or you ask a guy out. Right, and then
you just say, like,
oh, no, my friend took my phone, my bad. So I was like, I felt so stupid. And I think I've talked to her a couple times after that, but no. Just a total fail.
See, that's the thing. Was she, like, very popular or whatever?
Yeah, she was, yeah. I mean, if you want to say that. I don't like labing people, but no, like, but yeah, she was more.
For me,
she had more followers than me, if you want to put it that way.
Like for me, like you obviously know who I'm talking about. Yep, that's the one. No, but yeah, I've liked her since like kindergarten, dude. Since like first grade, I've known her since then. We went to the same school. We were in the same grade since like then. That's like what, like
psychotic.
10 years of like. Not talking to this
looking
girl.
through your telescope.
Like, it's, I don't know. It's not, I wouldn't say it's that weird, because, like, over 10 years, I haven't gotten the confidence to talk to a girl.
You know the funny thing is, though? Going back to what I said earlier, it doesn't fucking matter. None of it matters.
Yeah, see, that's the thing,
because it's a funny story
it's
now.
like, why should I do it now?
Yeah. It's you don't even know a funnier story now? Funnier than that situation?
What?
This was in high school, so this was, like, what is it? It's so I'm still a senior now, technically. I mean, I've graduated, but I would be a senior right now. Because I graduated early, because I was top of my class, of course. No, that's not it. But this was sophomore year, so I can't even retract this too much, because this wasn't that long ago.
I hated your sophomore year. You know why?
Dude, fuck your sophomore year.
You know why?
Why?
Because it was my freshman year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's everybody's freshman year is pretty bad. If they tell you different, they're wrong. What?
Do you remember the fucking football game?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Holy shit, that was bad. Okay. I wish I could erase that.
Maybe we'll talk about that. I don't know. But this is all pre-YouTube.
All right. Let me hear
now,
this.
I'm no big shot on YouTube, right? But YouTube's given me a lot of confidence. I'm a totally different person when I first started. So I'm a lot more confident of a person now. You know, I'm still shy and I'm fucking awkward as shit. Like, if you ever meet me, it's an experience. But this was sophomore year, and I started talking to this girl, and she's attractive, right? She's a bit more experienced, I guess, if you will, with men of various ages and statures, yeah. And then there's my dumbass fucking waltzing in there. So we would FaceTime a lot, and we'd talk or whatever. And the funny part is that when we would FaceTime, I would like set her up or whatever, and I would have like one headphone in, and I would be playing Grand Theft Auto while I talked to her.
You know, and I think I know her. Are you talking about E?
No.
Okay.
No. But I would talk to her whatever, because I wanted to have like a girlfriend right at the time, but like I was still like, I didn't care enough, obviously. I'm like, yeah, I'm still going to play GTA, which I think is funny, the fact that I was like flipping cars and killing people while she's like telling me about her day. But anyway, so we would have
she told you about her day?
Yeah.
I mean, she cared.
I didn't, apparently. I was too busy killing cops.
Well, that's probably why she liked you.
Yeah. He's so badass.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, because you didn't.
That's probably it, honestly. And it wasn't even like not caring in a cool way. It was just like I was so oblivious to everything that was going on.
It's like for me, I care way too much.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it. Half the time I wasn't even listening to her, poor girl. But she was a very extroverted, confident girl or whatever, and I was pretty introverted. But when we would talk, you know, obviously you build up momentum, right? So it would be like fine, and then we'd get to school, and she'd be like, hey, I'm in the cafeteria, come meet me. And I'd be like, yeah, I would, but I'm like, I'm gonna have to make up this test or whatever. I would make up excuses because like I didn't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea what I would say when I got there, right? I'm like, well, we already talked about her day. Huh. She thinks she plays video games or some shit? I didn't have any passions or anything like that. Like, I didn't know about videography or anything, so I didn't have anything to talk about. I was the most boring person ever. I don't even think I had a bow yet.
Dude.
For archery.
You can't talk to girls without a bow.
No, you can't. Put your hand down. I'm afraid. But anyway, so I would avoid her at all costs. And if I saw her walking down the hallway or whatever, I would crouch. And I would, like, bob and weave.
No, you would.
Yes, I would. I'm not fucking kidding. I would crouch down and I would get away from her. Because I had no fucking clue what to say.
I would crouch and I would get away from her.
There were times where I would like see her in the hallway and I'm like, all right, her friend just left her. I'm going to go up and talk to her. Because she was technically my girlfriend at this point. Technically. But it wasn't like, I couldn't officially it. That's a word. But yeah, so I'd avoid her at all costs. And eventually she caught on and she was like, yeah, you're avoiding me, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to say. She's like, okay. And then she hung up and that was it.
Damn.
It was like just quick. I didn't know what to say.
Like for me, okay, so here's a situation that I'm in.
I just think it's funny that I was crouching through people. Like you crouch in Minecraft.
But okay, so for me right now,
yeah, top that.
There's this girl that I used to talk to or whatever. Like I think I met her. Like
you're leaning in. Yeah, you kick the camera. I'm gonna have a cow.
I have to go to the bathroom. But I'll tell the story first. So I talked to this girl like around New Year's or whatever. What time are we at?
We're at 53, so we can end after your story.
Well, anyway, so
it's not bad.
This girl, I met her around like New Year's or whatever. I met her over text. She like followed me or whatever, and I followed her back, and I thought she was like pretty or whatever, and so I like texted her hey or whatever. You know, sliding into those DMs. But anyway, so I texted her and it ended up being like this big long thing or whatever. She liked me.
Whoa.
And yeah, no, whoa. But anyway, so I talked to her for like a little bit. We had like these weird, awkward like conversations like in school, like every once in a while. And then it kind of just like fell off. Like we kind of just didn't talk to each other for like the longest time. And then like the other day, I was like waiting for Zach or something like that, or I was like walking, and all I heard was like my name like very faintly, and I turned around, it was her, and she was like, "Oh, my grades are like not that great right now, so my parents took my phone for like a month," and I was like, "Oh, okay, that kind of explains why you weren't like, talking." And so I was like okay, like, all right, coming back after like 2 or 3 months, what's up? You know, like it was just
took her phone
awkward.
for months.
Yeah,
damn.
For months, and
my parents never really grounded me.
And I just kind of stopped. Like I just kind of stopped putting energy into it because it just didn't feel.
I wasn't really getting her vibes.
Yeah, like I just didn't.
Like I could see her vibes, but they would go over my head.
But it just didn't. Like I don't know. It didn't fit. But
at this point, did you morph into your spirit animal?
I did.
Hawk?
I did.
Okay.
And I flew away.
I think at this point I was a goat. I was a goat in Scandinavia.
Yeah, Griffin would just go.
My past life, I was a goat in Scandinavia. We should do an entire like hippie. You know what we should do? Deadass. This is what we're gonna do at one point. We're gonna go to California. We're gonna take the little fucking mic, okay, and my computer, camera, you know, all the basic equipment that you need. We're just gonna set up somewhere. I don't give a shit where it is. We're gonna get fucking blazed, and we're just gonna talk for an hour about hippie shit, just for one episode, and then it jumps back to normal shit.
God, yeah. All right, that took a turn. But anyway, so this girl, we've been like, she came up to me like today in the hallway or whatever, and like I talked to her and whatnot, but it was just like super awkward. Mm-hmm. And like she likes me, and I know it for a fact, but like I'm not a big fan of like that, whatever. So I don't really like her back.
I'm not a fan of that.
But like, dude, making the conversation was like not that hard.
What do you mean?
Like, it was kind of easy to make conversation between us.
Just easy to talk to?
Well, not just her, but like, for me, I find it easy to make conversation with like anybody.
Mm. Well, one, I'm awkward. You know this, so like that just doesn't.
Not really though.
I'm awkward, dude. I'm awkward as fuck.
I saw you answer the door.
Yeah, I was.
That
awkward.
was not awkward.
I feel like I was holding a toothbrush in my mouth.
Honestly, to me, I don't think that was awkward. I don't think you're an awkward guy. You just don't have the confidence to do it.
I don't think.
Like for me.
Okay, this is not couples therapy. This is Thoughtbusters.
I know. I'm just saying. Like that's my thought, dude.
Your thought sucks.
We're clustering.
No, but I think I'm used to being awkward, so that way I think I operate better when I'm awkward.
It doesn't make any sense, but...
It doesn't, but let me explain. So, if I'm filming a video, it's, like, really bad for the first 10 minutes, and then it gets awkward. Now, obviously, I edit it, so it's all, like, fucking perfect, you know? That's why I'm number one. No, I'm kidding. But
10,000 million subscribers.
10,000 million?
It's more
God. No, so, when I'm in an awkward situation, like a presentation, I write down just enough notes to where I know what I'm talking about, but it's just enough to where I don't have enough to fuck it up. Or I do have enough to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? To where I'm definitely going to fuck it up, but I have enough to keep going.
Right.
So I get awkward, and then I overcompensate with comedy and stuff like that, and then people laugh, and I have a good presentation. That's what I do in my videos. So I'm used to using my awkwardness. So I think it comes off smoother than I think in my head, but to me, everything I do is a shit show.
See, like, I just did, like, a presentation, and I tried to be funny, and it didn't work. So, but I did get a B+ on it.
Wait,
so,
were you trying to be funny, though?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Well, never mind. I was going to say...
Well, because, like,
I'm like, if you try too hard, you know.
It said something about, like, woodworking or something like that. I was like, yeah, wood, dude. And nobody laughed. I was like, all right. But, like, it was just, like, a comment. You know, it wasn't really, like, a joke or whatever. It was just, like...
There was one... Oh,
that
what is
you
it?
Did?
The first time I ever made, like, a crowd of people laugh was when I had to do, like, a big presentation, because I had to read, like, a satire piece. Satire? Those of you who don't know, it's comedy. You know, grow the fuck up. No, I'm kidding. Expand your vocabulary. But I had to do a thing or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? This is my moment. I'm like, because I'd been doing YouTube for a little bit at this point, so I'm like, I need to make people laugh. I'm like, this is what I do. This is my chance, okay? So I wrote out this script or whatever, and I, like, rehearsed it a bunch of times, and I'm like, yeah, I got this shit down. And it was, I think it was about... Yeah, it was like very meta because I wrote a presentation about me writing my presentation at the last minute, which I did at the last minute. So everything was very, very meta or whatever. It was really good. I was like really well written. My teacher loved it and everybody was like complimenting me or whatever. I got a ton of blowjobs. No, okay. But the first like moment when I made someone laugh was like in the first few seconds because I'm like, there's always, because my whole thing was like in this story, I'm the person who's like just kind of the, viewed as like the outcast in the class of like, oh, this dude's a fucking loser, like, oh, we're going to see his presentation or whatever. But it was through my perspective of seeing the rest of the class. And there's always that one kid, and I'm sure you the camera, who's ever watching, and you know about this, there's always that one kid that's like super like, yeah, I got this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like overconfident. And at one moment, I like put down my script or whatever, and I looked at class, and I'm like, there's always that one person who's like overconfident about everything, and I'm like, and like, I don't know what I said or whatever, but basically what made everybody laugh was just the fact of me saying from this person's perspective of like, this is my moment. And everyone fucking died. I don't know why. I think it was just timed at like just the right moment, but everyone fucking died laughing. Like I had to stop presenting for a moment because everybody was dying laughing. My teacher was laughing. It was a good moment. Even the people that didn't like me, like clearly didn't like me, like the popular kids or whatever, they were laughing too. It was great. And in my head, obviously, I'm like, yeah, this is great, but I was worried about the rest of the presentation. Like, no one's gonna laugh. People were dying throughout the entire thing. I'm like, this is fucking perfect.
See, I feel like those moments, like I'm not very good at like bigger moments, like with crowds, but I'm very good on like one-on-one.
See, I enjoy talking in crowds now. I think it's because of YouTube.
But also, like, I don't know. I have, like, a weird mix of, like, talking with crowds and not. Because, like, in 8th grade when I
have the
debate,
opposite. I don't like talking to people directly or, like, small groups. But, like, if it's a big crowd, I have no problem with it.
Like, with the debate in, like, 8th grade, dude, when I won that shit and, like, everybody was laughing at the joke that I made, holy shit, it made me feel so good.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Do you remember that joke that I made?
No.
Okay, so this will be really quick. But I did a debate. Right, and I got assigned with all the like jocks or whatever, you know, all these popular guys.
The jocks.
And they did nothing.
I was the nerd. They were the jocks.
I had to write all of their shit. I had to write everything that they said. I wrote everything.
Were they just bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, actually, and that was also like a time
very stereotypical
they had, like,
story.
Like some of the popular kids had taken pictures of like a girl in like yoga pants or whatever, so they were like searching everybody's phones. And those kids that were in my group got, like, taken away for, like, a week. So they couldn't, like, work on the project with me. So I had to work on it by myself. Anyways, so I was the person that ended it.
We just lost all light.
Yeah, I know. It's gone now.
We're using the sun.
But I was the last person to speak. I was the person that ended the debate or whatever. And I made my argument. I made my rebuttal or whatever. And at the end of it, I said, and we were going up against an entire group of girls, and these were popular girls too.
So they were lower than you on the spectrum, of course.
Yes, exactly, because they're women. No, this is the same podcast where we're saying that men should be putting women above each other. Anyways.
Wait, why weren't they cooking dinner? Okay.
Honestly. But anyway, so it was a really, really popular group of girls, and I stood up, made my rebuttal or whatever, and at the end of it, I said, although my opponents had a very good argument, even a broken clock was right twice a day. And all the English teachers, they were sitting there and they were like grading or whatever, and they got it like immediately. They were like, "Oh, that's so good!" And then like all the students were like, "Oh!" Like it took everybody like a second to realize that like I just dissed them by saying that they weren't even right.
And then like cheesy clock, 80 music played as you like threw your skirt up and like walked down the hallway.
Yeah, it was so good. Everybody loved me except for the girls that I was trying to impress. Because I just roasted the crap out of them. But anyways, the moral of the story.
Do your best.
Be confident, okay? Treat your women right. And don't...
Alright, we're going to end the podcast.
Don't be a fucking loser.
Just don't be a loser. Just don't
Honestly, don't do it.
No, follow your dreams, respect women, and just have a good time, man. God,
enjoy life.
This is an interesting episode, isn't it?
Episode 9.
I dig it. Episode 9.
Episode
Damn, this is 9th episode. Next episode's 10. We're gonna... Just fuck the mic. Next episode, we're gonna have to... We'll go naked. Why do you do that? I have to, like, cut that down.
What do you mean we're gonna go naked?
For the 10th episode.
It should be the 100th episode.
Oh, why keep them waiting?
Okay, alright.
You'll be naked, I'll just pour... Okay, what are we doing?
I'll just pour Coke all over. Get sticky.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode. What are you doing? This is why. Oh, because you're sticky.
Yeah, because I'm sticky on the Coke. Alright.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.